You ever see someone so hot their genitals glowed? Well, that's what happens in this Indonesian legend from East Java called Ken Arok. He's an important historical figure and the subject of such crazy legends that there's a rock opera about him. If you're mostly familiar with Western culture and like Judeo-Christian Bible stories, and you start reading stories from all over the world, you'll notice a lot of similarities, and this one starts with a sort of Moses. Ken Arok's parents are poor peasants, and they put him in the Brontes River in hopes that someone rich will find him and give him a better life. Well, he actually gets found by a thief who raises him to become a criminal, and he's like amazing at it. But eventually he meets an Indian rishi who convinces him to abandon his sinful life and become a good person. He rises up and becomes the attendant to Tunggul Amatung, who is the leader of the region. Well, that leader has a wife named Kendides, and she is beautiful, and one day Ken Arok sees her going to take a bath, and when he catches a glimpse of her legs between her skirt, a glowing light is coming from her genital. He tells his teacher about it, and his teacher is like, oh, that means that whoever is with her is going to be king and the father of kings. So Ken Arok now super wants her, and in very David and Bathsheba fashion, after witnessing her at that bath and stuff, he decides he's gonna kill her husband so he can get her. So Ken Arok has a wife who is pregnant at this time, but he just abandons her. He has a famous smith make this amazing kris, which is like an asymmetrical sword with patterns on it. It takes the smith months, and Ken Arok eventually gets impatient, and he takes it anyway, even though the guy still has to do a lot of rituals to imbue it with magical power that will keep it from being used for evil, which is pretty important. But Ken Arok stabs its maker, and with his dying breath, its maker, the smith, curses him that he would die and that 7 generations of his descendants would also be killed by the cursed kris. Next step of his plan is actually really smart. He gives the sword to this other man who he knows will go around bragging, look at this amazing, really specific sword that I have. Then one night, Ken Arok steals the sword back, stabs the man he wants to kill, leaves the sword at the scene, and so everyone assumes that the dude who's been bragging that that's his sword is the one who did it. Before the innocent guy can protest his innocence, Ken Arok grabs the sword and kills him, pretending that he's doing it out of rage for the murdered man, but it's really to keep him quiet. So he gets what he wants, he marries Kenderes, but guess what? Kenderes had already had a son with the man Ken Arok killed, and when he grows up, suspicious of his stepfather having killed his father, he eventually gets revenge with that same weapon. Then, of course, the curse continues. He gets killed with the same weapon by his stepbrother, and, it goes on and on for 7 generations. Interesting fact about Kendides, she actually was probably kidnapped by her first husband. There's a legend that her father cursed him when she got stolen, and that's why he got murdered by Ken Arok. Either way, I feel really bad for her in this entire situation, same as I feel about Bathsheba in the David story. If only she hadn't been born with those glowing genitals.